us what happened in that game.
Yeah, I think it was a strange game. I think Hans played very, very strange moves at some point, and I think I lost my concentration and blocked.
Now, Levon, I don't know if you've been able to check the news in between your games, but it's huge drama in the chess world today. Magnus resigned after one move against Hans Niemann. What is your reaction to that?
Well, I understand the frustration of Magnus. I mean, I really didn't know much about a lot of things. Now I'm somewhere in the middle. I do believe that Hans has been not the cleanest person when it comes to online chess. But well, he's a young guy. Hopefully this will be a lesson to him. He will he will not do any of bad things online. And but generally I think this is a problem that requires a solution, and there are solutions. I don't think this is such a big problem. I'm sure that it's not going to be a problem if we just spend, let's say, 5% of our attention to it.
Yeah.
Because, mostly if you're intelligent and you play chess and you enjoy the game, mostly you don't have that temptations. But we should generally stop the temptation at the core of it, because we have many young talented players. And sometimes with the young people.
Yeah, this is actually one of the things though that I know a lot of people who are talking about Hans, and they said that this is one of those things where Levon, it feels like, has gone exactly in the other direction. If we listen to his interview during the Sinkfield Cup, it seemed like he made the comment that, like, everybody's paranoid. You tend to accuse new juniors or up and coming juniors, I should say, of cheating. That's what he said very clearly. And I take that as a sign that he didn't know anything about what's going on. But the fact that he now feels this way about it, to me, this says a lot, I would say, about where I think most super grandmasters stand on the issue. So that's what I would say. I feel like Levon has been one of the ones who's been, like, most measured, and now he's really kind of, it feels like, taking a different stance now. So we're going to see, there's a game for me to analyze. I am aware of this, which we will get to. I don't know if I should get to it right away. Okay, let's watch the rest of this interview and then we'll get to the game.
I remember also myself, you do have lots of temptations.
Yeah. And how dangerous is it with cheating, and especially suspicion then of cheating, for the motivation for you guys, the top players, when maybe for Magnus Carlsen today, he just can't get it out of his head, his suspicion of cheating, and so he decides not to play?
Yeah, I think since we had the chat with some of online server people, and we found out a lot of things about Hans, the multiple instances of him cheating, I think that creates a problem for Magnus.
And you play Hans tomorrow, round 11. Are you uncomfortable playing him?
No, I'm not uncomfortable to play with anybody. I just want to play, and hopefully it will be an interesting battle.
That's very nice to hear. Now, many people in the chess world are calling now for Magnus Carlsen to come out, give an explanation, come with maybe some evidence. Are you doing the same, or do you understand Magnus staying silent?
I think it's not such a problem. If Magnus has a personal problem and he wants to resign, that's okay. That's okay by me. And not that we're silencing anything, trying to hide. This is an extremely rare case that somebody is continuously maybe, doing the wrong things online, and hopefully he stopped already. But generally, I think once we take care of these things, once we have better system devised, it will be completely gone. So I understand that Magnus doesn't want to explain himself because, it creates more drama. So at this moment, he's just saying, okay, I will not play against this person, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, finally, on a happier note, this is the Generation Cup. Levon, you already played Boris Gelfand. In the final round of the preliminaries, you're going to play Vasily Vanchuk. And I want to ask you, because these two players, well into their 50s, they have stayed on top of the game up until now.
All right, so I think that's all of the interview that really matters. Now, as we know, there was a game that was just played, so let me change my scene. There was a game that was just played. Let me go back to start between Hans and Levon. So let me change the scene. Yeah. So I mean, the way that I view it is, it seems to me that Lev has heard a lot more. Again, I'm in a situation where all this, it's much easier to try and read between the lines of what people are saying. But it seems to me that very clearly Levon was told something about what has happened on like online on chess.com, elsewhere, whatever it might be. He's been told something. Now, who knows what that means? Again, it's hard to really judge exactly, but his opinion has definitely changed a little bit on the whole situation. So it's interesting to note, based on whatever he was told, that really kind of, I don't want to say like shook him, but it sounds like his whole outlook and view of the situation is different now. And I also feel like when I look at Lev speaking there, he is not happy. Normally I feel like he's much more optimistic, in a good mood, and he doesn't look like someone who's happy in terms of what has in terms of what's been said. So let's go through this game. So Levon playing with the black piece against Hans. Now, another thing that's really crucial about all this and why this is such a difficult situation, and I'm just gonna say, is if you're playing someone and you do have suspicions that they might be cheating or whatnot, the quality of your play suffers because of it, without a doubt. If I look at games I've played online at times, like if I have some doubt, even if it's like the smallest possible doubt about something, my play will go down. And this is why this is such a problem, because if people are suspicious of Hans, whether it's because of online, whether they think maybe something happened over the board, etc., however it goes, the problem is that then you have problems psychologically. Your play will go down. You will not play as well as you would against anybody else. This is just like basically a fact. This is just a fact. And that applies to everyone. It could apply to me, it could apply to Magnus, it could apply to Anish. You are not going to play at the same level, which is why this is such a problem in general terms. Because if you think about it, if Hans keeps getting invited to tournaments and he's playing, people will not play as well against him as they would if they thought they were just playing another Rising Junior, like let's just say Gukesh or Arjun, just because they're the most prominent ones. Like, people are going to play significantly worse against him. At the same time, you can't really say you can't really like ban him necessarily, but the fact is you're in a very tough situation there, because he is going to have better results because people are very uneasy about what's going on. So it's a very, very tough situation. Very, very tough situation when you look at everything. It applies to Hans as well. How does it apply? To Hans, it's a huge advantage. I mean, Hans, of course, at the end of the day, is the only one who knows what he's done or what he hasn't done. Anish said the exact same thing about that. Yeah, of course. So like for Hans, like he's the only one who knows whether he has or has not done anything over the board. But at the end of the day, like, it's a huge boost for him. 100% it's a boost. 100% it's a boost. So anyway, let's go through this game. So Hans playing with the white piece against Levon Aronian today. This is in the Julius Baer Generational Cup. I think this is round number 11. So, okay. Pretty normal. I'm actually going to turn off the lines. So I want to look at this with like no lines, complete objectivity. Okay, so I have the lines off. Okay, I have the bar on, but it doesn't really matter. So let's see, what do we have? So we have a Najdorf being played by Levon here. Bishop d3. Okay, pretty funny. He plays Bishop d3. This is a line that I actually have played quite a bit. I won a very nice game. I think it was in Norway Chess in 2018 against Maximus Vachier-Lagrave, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, we get g6 f3. Okay, this is all pretty normal so far. Bishop e2, interesting. Bishop e3 is the main line, but goes on. He plays bishop e2. Okay, all pretty normal. Okay, bishop b7. Again, b6 instead of b5, because then there's possibly like bishop e3 and some a4, or even a4 right away. a4, b4, knight e5 maybe. Although actually computer doesn't like this, which again is why I'm specifically looking at this without like the lines on, because I'm trying to get an idea. So we get b6. Okay, all normal. All normal. G4. Yay! G4, wow. Huh. G4, really?
Out of Bezos's pocket. Thanks.
Wow. G4. Yeah, I'm G4, really. Okay. We got 95 G5. Okay, B3. Okay, now E6 is a blunder. Again, I don't have the lines on, so I'm trying to look at this. No, G4 is a crazy move to play. Again, now people are going to read into me saying that it's a crazy move to play, but this is a crazy move to play. This is just a crazy move to play here, to play G4, because normally we play something like bishop H6, rook A D1, maybe rook F D1. What am I insinuating? Yeah, exactly, you guys. Yeah, start going there. But G4 is a crazy move. Maybe, I mean, maybe it's a good move. Let's see. Is it a good move? No, it's not actually a good move, because black should play H6. H6? Okay, this is kind of weird too. I'm really confused by this. I mean, G4 is crazy. H6 is also crazy. I mean, yeah, it's all kind of crazy. Anyway, okay, let's turn off the lines, go back here. So G4 is played, we get 95. G4 is not a mouse because like G3 is a ridiculous move too. So G4, okay, so we get 95, or sorry, not H4. G4 95, at G5, knight C7, B3, okay. Logical, stops knight C4. E6 played here, and now I'm guessing there's probably some knight B5. Let me turn the lines back on. No, it's F4 first. It's F4, and then yeah, knight C6, then I assume this is just crushing. After takes, you get knight D6. Like, this just looks like a total disaster. I don't know if rook D1 is best or E5, but I mean, it's almost like it's like a Bond cloud, but white is a bunch of pawns, and it's just game over. The thing is, Hans can play crazy because his opponents will be on the defensive because of what I just said. This is true. This is why it's a very big problem. This is why it's a very big problem, because the fact is, psychologically, I'm telling you, like, I've played chess my whole life. I know how you feel. Like, you know, I know how you feel. So this is like, yeah, this is the problem. So you're actually right. Like, because the problem is if you already have some suspicions here, and then someone plays G4, which is not a human move at all, like, it's going to rattle you. It's going to rattle you for sure when someone plays a move like G4. 100% it's going to rattle you when they do this. So we get B3, E6, F4, rook C8, and now knight B5, and you just resign. I mean, this is not hard to find. I mean, E6 obviously is a very bad move by Lev because it just kind of loses the game. But yeah, you get this, and I mean, queen B4 not hard, and knight F5, and it's just, yeah, it's game over. Yeah, I mean, just game over. Is Hans taking advantage of people thinking something's going on? I mean, I don't know. Again, like I said, everything is speculation. This G4 move though is like, yeah, it's a crazy move. I kind of wonder if I asked Ali Reza here about this position, if he would consider this move, let alone play it. I'm kind of curious what Ali Reza would think here. Yeah, this kind of crazy move caused a collapse. Yeah, it definitely started Lev down the wrong path of playing knight E5 and everything else. But no, I mean, this G4 is crazy. This is just a crazy move. Let the engine run on G4. Yeah, very, very funny. Ali Reza probably is an insane move. Maybe. But yeah, okay, this is just brutal. G4. I'm really trying to I'm trying to think based on my understanding if there's anywhere that I would consider a move like G4. I'm really trying to figure this out. Like, I mean, I've played these Nidors, these Dragons, Dragdors my entire life, and I'm just trying to think of lines where you play G4 early where you've castled. Like, I'm really trying to think of it. Like, I can think of lines where you play G4 in some of the Scheveningans with E6, Bishop E7, but I mean, if you haven't castled, yeah, like here, for example, G4, this is like very, very standard. Could it be prep? I don't think it's prep. I don't think it's prep. I mean, it can't be prep. Again, I don't have the timestamps, but I don't believe it. But yeah, this is, wow, G4 here. Yeah, because like it's such a crazy move to me. Like A4, I mean, unless there's some line where you play G4, like the way that I look at it as a human, like a top GM, is I try to think about themes. I'm trying to think about themes that are like these really amazing concepts that you come up with in positions where you think of them. So I'm trying to think about Sicilians. He took 20 seconds and played it. No, but I mean, how long had he taken on the whole game prior to that moment? Yeah, I mean, yeah, G4 is just, yeah, I mean, it's a crazy move. Ironically, yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if it's a top move. Let me let the computer think. I mean, again, H6 is also not. I mean, H6 is like not a human move either. Yeah, G4 having castled. Like, I can't think of any Sicilian where you play G4 like this, where you castle. The king's on E1, there are plenty of lines, but having castle to play G4 here, just, yeah, it's crazy. But it probably is actually a very good move objectively. Probably it's a good move. But yeah, now run it in your supercomputer. It says G4. No, you guys, we're not doing that right now. But this is a crazy move. G4 is crazy. But again, yeah, it evidently worked out very well for Hans, because after knight E5 G5, I mean B3. I mean, E6 is obviously a very poor move by Lev. That's very poor. But at the same time, It's already unpleasant. Bishop e2 probably. This is prep. Bishop e2 is prep. This is prep. Is this a novel idea? I think it is. I'm racking my brain trying to think about like knight orcs or dragons where you play g4 having castle. Like there are lines where they're dragon lines, for example. Like if I just go back to the start, there are a lot of dragon lines, for example, where you get some position like bishop e2, where there's something like this, for example, and at some point like you play some g4, maybe not this exact position, but there are lines like this where you play g4, g5, f5. But to play it with this f3 structure, like this English system structure, like this setup to go g4 where you've castled, I don't think I've ever seen that before. I've never seen it. So yeah, that's what it is. I've never seen it before. Anyway, impressive win nonetheless. So yeah, so there we go. But when you castle short, well, it's like, yeah, normally, like, for example, a normal way to play this would be like something like bishop e3, like you go like here, and even here g4 without castling makes sense because you can also castle and play g4 as well. Yeah, so very impressive win, obviously. I'm trying to think, like, maybe there's some games the last year or two that I've missed with this concept, but I've never seen this concept with white having castled here before. I've never seen this. Bishop e2 has been played. Yeah, bishop e2 obviously has been played before. Like I said, the lines that I was looking at this line probably like 5 or 6 years ago, before Norway chess and other stuff. And I think the lines I was looking at was like bishop e3, queen e2, and castles. This is the line I was looking at. I played bishop d3. I think I played against Maxime, maybe against Nepo as well. So it's something I'm familiar with, but definitely I haven't looked at this bishop e2. And it's called a transposition. What I wonder when he says transposition is there some line? Like, of course, we'll never get an answer on this, most likely. But is there a line where you go bishop e2, bishop e3, and there's some drag door where you play f3, g4, having castle? That's the only thing I wonder. But anyway, crazy move, but it works out, and that's the game as we have it. So let's keep moving on. Lev is wearing a Celtics uniform. What?
I think people know. I quite often play terribly in the preliminaries, but when I qualify, then I play well. So I somehow cannot get a rhythm in this whole tournament, and hopefully some miracle will happen and I'll qualify, and then I promise to play well.
And how about you, Anish? What will be the plan tomorrow to qualify for quarterfinals?
No, for me, usually it's the way around. Usually I play well in preliminaries and badly in the knockouts. So I'm like, yeah, but I hope I'll make it. I see Levon smiling, but I am higher than him on the standing. So if he's smiling, I should also be smiling.
Yes. And we have something else to have you smiling, Anish. Our viewers, they're making some artwork, and we do have 2 drawings of you.
Wow.
Your fans is making some nice artwork. What do you think?
Very impressive. No, I always appreciate a good drawing. So yeah, it's really good to see. I've seen always when I see people, doing this, it's very heartwarming because they spend the time. It's like you see how much work goes into it, and they could be drawing I don't know, like pigs or animals or I don't know, anything else, but they choose to draw chess players, and that goes to show how much passion they have for the game, and that's nice.
You're drawing and they're drawing back.
Yeah, no, I understand the joke there, but been there, done that, I think.
Good one, Levon. Anish, thank you for joining us. Best of luck on that critical day tomorrow.
Thank you. Hopefully tomorrow a little bit more draws, because today I think I didn't make a single one, and that's why I feel something is a little bit off. But I'll try my best.
Boomer humor, yeah, totally.
I like the irony. Very good, Anish. Yeah. Thank you. Now, Levon, I have a few more questions for you. So, first of all, this final game against Anish, how relieved are you that it ends up with a very important win for you?
So far I'm playing so badly that any points that I get are kind of a miracle. So I'm always relieved to get some points.
And then we have to ask you about the game against Hans Niemann. Very surprised to see you lose in, I think it was only 20 moves. What happened in that game?
Yeah, I think it was a strange game. I think Hans played very, very strange moves at some point, and I think I lost my concentration and blocked.
Was it special for you going into that game with all the drama going on?
Oh my gosh.
About Hans Niemann?
You just had to say it. You can't write this.
I'm not affected by any of that. But when I'm playing badly, it's there's nothing can be done. I gotta work harder.
And tomorrow, of course, stacking up points will be important. You're going to finish off playing Vasily Ivanchuk. Are you looking forward to that game?
Always. It's very creative and a brilliant player that always inspires me.
Yeah, you're both a little bit of artistic players. What can we expect from the game when you two play each other?
I'll get to the subs in a second, you guys. But
we normally have fierce battles, so I hope it will be a one.
All right, yeah, that's good. That's good for now. Let's go back. Thank you so much.